Bonjour, mes amis. Roger once again today with a giant lung for your viewing pleasure. Now, why do I say that's a giant lung? Why? Well, because it is, first of all. Secondly, because this is the pulp of the internal part of the lung. This right here is where the lung entry was. Now, I have one here. It's virtually the same. I have literally thousands of things, and I can find things of every single nature. Now, this is another lung, and it's like the other side lung. So you see in this the same thing. This is eroded away. Normally they don't erode away. I just have them in so many variations. All of these here are lungs. All of these are lungs. We'll go through them in a second. Of course, my goose in the back there. Now, so what do we have here? We've got a lung just like that, and that's where the entryway is for the lung. And I will show you in extremely magnificent detail right now. I'm certain this is either a heart or a lung, and I'm almost... All right, when I was out there, it's so bright out there, I couldn't really be 100% sure, but I was pretty sure. So I made this statement. All right, I'm certain this is either a heart or a lung, and I'm almost sure it's a lung, but it's in a very good state of preservation. It is a lung. And right there is where the blood would have, the airway would have gone in there. And now it's all moss. And you can see there's two different types of moss there. It's very interesting rock. Now again, I have them all over my property. I got the bazillions of them. So, and there's a lot of them bigger and there's a lot of them smaller, and it's just, I'm finding them just... Let me go back here. Just unbelievable. You can see there's two different types of moss. Boom. Okay. Yeah, that's a good shot. Right in here. This is like it's almost like a stringy moss, and this is like the normal moss. Now, obviously, they're wanting to eat different types of materials, because then you also have the lichen. They don't just lay around on rocks to grow there and consume out of the air. Obviously, they're eating something that is localized in those areas. So this is what you want to look for, because when you see lichen, it's the same thing. The lichen is also eating blood. They love it. Now, apparently, it's quite obvious that there's some difference in this type of blood that this stuff grows on and this stuff grows on. To me, it just seems, how can you miss that? Types of moss there. See it? And now when you come down here, we're down into this area here, like on this one, and then it goes off into the actual lung lobes that are inside of there. It's very interesting rock. There's like a big. This is the red blood side. This is probably the other side that had the black blood in there, which is the expended blood. And this is what it is like here. This would be where the blackish blood is. It's dripped down, but that's where the red blood side is. And this vein, I mean, our lung, there's no question. And they come filled up, they come empty. Like this one was in some kind of acid or salt or something. This one here was DNA certified, 100% human, no question whatsoever, zero doubt. You see how they're all flat as a pancake on the back? Almost every one of them flat as a pancake. And that's because of the great flood that would, see this one here? Same thing, flat as a pancake. That's a lung. And that's just what happened. Now, this is a lung too. See that one again, flat as a pancake. Now that's a lung. This guy was probably a smoker. You see all the blackish looking stuff down there? See that? Now, what else? And they come in different styles too. You have the round style. I don't know. It's a chipmunk or something. I don't know what it is, but that's where the lung goes in there. And I think that's a meteorite. That's heavy. It's iron, I'm almost sure. And that's also a lung from I don't know what. And all the stuff coming out of space, I don't care what anybody says, they are 100% biological. Zero rocks exist. Zero of anything non-biological exists. There's another lung from what I don't know. Now, and here's one that leaked out. You see, again, flat, laying like this. And that's the blood, the red and the black blood leaked out of probably the right up in here somewhere is where the entry was. Oh, well, that's enough of that, I guess. All right, so everything's DNA certified that I have, not everything, but I have enough to prove every single little bit of what I'm saying. Let me show you another fingertip. It's about this big. All right, you see this right here? These are the fingerprints. They're the actual prints. These are the dots, which are the sweat pores inside of grip skin. You see the pattern stops here? Because that's where you don't have your fingerprints anymore. Or this actually could be a toe, and these could be toe prints. I don't know. But that is where I took it off of. From the other side of this finger or toe, whatever it is, way down around the other side, I smashed that off with a sledgehammer. And then I sent off blood that I got from inside, not from outside. And he said it was dense. This is 30 inches wide, 3 feet long. It's whatever it is, it's a part of a human being. It was tested human mitochondrial DNA, no question whatsoever. And, it's there. Anybody can look at it if they want. But nobody seems to be interested. They're all screaming about giants, this and that. I got them coming out of my ears. So I guess that's I guess they're mine. Okay, mes amis, you see what we have here? That is a distal phalanges. This is this. It is this piece right up here. See? Now, whether it's a finger or a thumb, I have no clue, but it's one or the other. And this is where the vein side of this fingertip has arteries on this side, veins on this side. Veins do not blow out. Arteries blow out. You see the artery? That artery feeds this, and it has 3 major ends. Boom, boom, boom. When this thing died laying deep in the soil like this, the blood ran down and it exploded out of these holes. Now that does it regularly. I found many of them with the blood coming out. And as a matter of fact, here's a little tiny one here. That's another fingertip. And that's the blood running out at the end. That's what they do. Now, it didn't blow out the sides here, but it blew out the end. And that's it running down. That's a fingertip. Now, I mean, this is not something I'm guessing at. And when I said things come out of space and their biology, let's look at that. All right, this is the palm that was there. I have some other ones, knuckles and things like that. See the knuckle? That's still the meat wrapped right around. That's the meat. This would be the tendon, and it breaks off at the abrupt transition. These are tendons that lay on here. That's the bone ball. And again, one side was really eroded and the other side not so much. And, of course, there's all kinds of stuff out there from this one. I found the toes and all kinds of things. It's really in bad shape now. I went out there the other day and looked, and I think it's just totally destroyed. It's been sitting there 8 years. And but the grip skin was here. This silvery part, that's grip skin. This is the pad that's in your hand, this pad that runs around here. And then there's a tendon that runs right down there. You see that? Even in your own hand, you got the same thing. It's the left hand. And that pad runs around there, and this is the pad. Now, this is only up to halfway up the middle of your palm. This is only up to here. So you got all this to go. Way out there. It is what it is. And this is all, this DNA tested. This is certified humans, 3 feet wide. I don't know what else I can do. I really don't. But if anybody's interested, it's here. Before we do that, I just want to finish off on this hand. There's another fingertip from that hand. That's a fingertip. And it's a left thumb, we figured out. An anatomist did it. And it's been DNA certified. And that's where the tendons lock in. Boom, boom, boom. That right here is where the arterial blood would have blown out. And it leaked out a little bit, not like the other one exploded. There's your artery. This is the vein side. I broke it off over here to look in at the vein, and that's where the vein blood goes. And of course, the vein doesn't blow out. Now, and that I have a lot of that hand because this one goes with it too. And this one was low, and that one was high. So this one didn't blow out. This one blew out. You see this little notch there? And you saw the distal phalanges. Carbon silhouette. There's the notch on this one, same thing. I mean, this is like I say, this is no guesses. And I have them coming out of my ears. And they're fully articulated. There's the cartilage, all of the coating, the fascia, the fabrics. The only thing that isn't here is the bone. In the mud fossils, oh boy, I said the word. Oh man, I don't care anymore. In these particular style preservation, all that's left is that little piece of bone on this one. They just don't, the bones go away because the salt water invades. And, you know, like I say, don't say that word because they just don't like it. It doesn't work. Anyway. And this is meat. And that right there is the fascia flap. All right, anyway. This right here is another finger. Right? This is another finger. Right? It has eroded away, but here is where the artery blood is, artery blood, artery blood. You see them? Same thing as all of the other ones have. Exact same thing. Now, this one here is also a fingertip, and it is completely eroded away, but it is identical to this. They are identical. Do you see that? You see that? Both of them have the red blood on this side, and this one here, it literally exploded. And I'm going to explain that. Exploded out of here. Not dripped out. Exploded. And you say, well, why would that happen, Roger? Well, I will tell you, my friend. Now, let's look at it first, though, in its magnificence. There it is right there. Identical. Even if you laid them up side by side, you see the little notches and everything, the little hooks and notches. You see the little hooks and notches, same thing, identical, zero difference. Zero difference. Okay, can you agree? And yes, you can. Now, so what am I referring to about space? Well, did this come out of space? No, it did not. And how do I know that? Because it has the fabric, a nice clean fabric on there, unscorched. And what about this one? Whoa! That puppy came through space. That is blistered off, blistered off, blistered off. At nighttime, this came through. I can almost positively guarantee you this came through at night where the ions are not saturated in the air, so it has less to fight. It blistered, boiled, and exploded out of here. The blood exploded because it was still wet. And you say, oh, come on. I say, yes, it was still wet. Somehow these things are in space cooking. That's why the comets come around and they smoke. That's not just dust. I looked it up. It's polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. And you know what that is? That is what burns off of your gas grill if you don't have enough oxygen. I'm telling you, no question whatsoever. They did it on the Philae lander on the Comet 67P, the European Space Agency. I followed that right from day one. 5 years ago, I was reporting that was biological, and it is, and they know it is. They just don't know what to say about it now. And not everything is biological, 100%. Let me show you iron meteorites. There's an iron meteorite. That is a heart. Red blood, black blood. They come through, they smelt. Smelting means all of the volatile organic compounds blister and boil off. Exactly what they do when they mine and they extract ores. They do the same thing. They boil off all the crap they don't want. You end up with metals. I don't know what else to say. That's a gigantic iron meteorite. Some huge giant lung came through space. That's what it is. And you could test this. I could find red spots in here. I know where there's blood in here. And you could go in, and I took the blood out of this one. I have blood from this, not from this one, from this one here. I drilled into it. I drilled in a couple, and you could drill in deeper. I could smash this thing in half and get so far inside there that nothing could have touched that. And that could be tested. That is blood right there. So don't tell me we don't have any blood from outer space on here. And they're all wondering what's out in outer space. They don't really wonder anything. As far as I could determine, nobody's really wondering anything. They just already assumed that I don't know what they assumed. They don't want to see any truth anymore. As far as I could determine, I don't want to get into that frame of mind where I get upset, but it's what it is. We are at that time, my friends. So, space is 100% biological. And all the planets they're going to, Pluto and everything now, so they're finding life on there. They don't know what to say. Have no clue what to say. Okay, I'm coming out to show you Comet 67P, but this butterflies drink turtle tears. I was looking at this. Now watch this. I just can't help myself. This is just too cool to pass over. There's the butterflies. There's also hummingbirds. Now the turtles love the butterflies. I never saw them bother one butterfly. Look, see that? Get away from me. Hold on, let me go back. See it? Watch back here. You see the butterflies going, they love it. Now the hummingbirds are coming in. He doesn't like that. Get out of here. But you know how nice he is. Look, see how gentle he is? Pushing them. And they left. Well, actually, they're still over there. Anyway, I'm sorry. I just had to show you that. All right, this is Comet 67P. They sent out a lander, the Philae lander. It landed on it, but before it did, it took all these pictures. Now, what is all this stuff shooting out? How come some shoots this way, some shoots that way, some shoots this way? It goes all different directions. Well, I can tell you why. Now, let me play this as I speak. Now, this is boiled off gases from the vascular networks. There's holes and vessels in here all over this thing, just like there are on all the different fossil things that I work with. They're in space. They're the exact same things, because I have one here that is that same exact thing. Now, they're inside of these holes. Inside of these holes and things, that's what's here. This is it right here. This is the thing that they're looking at, one of these. And I show it very clearly in a second here. It's extremely clear. All right, this is what they're looking out there, and mine will be coming up in a second. It's virtually this piece right here. You see it? It's that piece right there. You see that? And the rest is that ball. And that would have gone to a strap that would have run up, because that's an anchor. And I can tell you where there's other anchors in space that are just beyond your wildest dreams. Now look, see this? That right there is identical to the thing that's in the background, which is Comet 67P. I'll drop it down at some point and you'll see it. But I'm showing this and I'm running my mouth like I always do. And but it is what it is. And there is Comet 67P. And it is that exact same thing. So, and I mean, I got so much on this, you're just never going to believe. Well, I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to leave it at that. Because then you could do your own research, or believe me or not believe me. Because I have so much evidence to support what I'm saying, and nobody can deny it. If it's looked at, it's just not looked at. So let me show you one last thing, and then we'll drop it. Okay, let me leave you with this thought. That is what we would call a tendon anthesis anchor. That ball, and you see that little ridge around there, I know this extremely well. That is the anchor for a tendon anthesis, which had the straps that came down to these anchor points. And that locked this in, and whatever flesh it was in, it could pull and twist. They made our, either the galaxy or the solar system, out of a giant creature's body. This was what was written, and that's what I see. I'll leave you with that last thought. And if you can't see what I've been showing you, and you can't let your mind run into the possibility that this is all true, because everything I'm showing you has been written, every word of it. And every word of it has been laughed at. So now you can do whichever you want. But I'm not laughing anymore. I'm chuckling, but I ain't laughing. All right, this I did a couple of years ago. Truth is fading faster than the glaciers. Now, and that's a fact. Now, these are the tendons that they use to make the walls down in Peru. I'm not kidding you. That's the little bumps where they break off the straps, and then they take these flat mats and they cut them and they make walls out of them. They're just gigantic. These are the tendon balls, and these are the straps that run down to the tendon balls. They find the tendon balls all over around the world. The straps are much weaker. Now, let me just play this. I don't have any sound, but what I'm doing, I'm showing the straps and these balls and so forth. And well, here, let me talk. Whatever I said before, I'll probably say again. All right, here's one where the strap going in has eroded out and the ball is still left there. This is kaolin clay. That skin's identical to Iapetus skin. Believe it or not, the thickness of that skin could be up to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet thick. Just the skin. This is that same tendon ball, and that is the strap leading up to the tendon mat. That tendon mat would have been right about here. It's eroded away. These are other balls that are in this area. They come in stacks of them, hundreds of them, literally clusters, just in batches. And they have these straps. This one didn't erode away yet. And this is what they look like in living tissue. They're in tendons, they're in ligaments, they're in the skin, they're in what they call the interstitium that they just finally figured out. Just a couple of months ago they realized it existed. I've seen it for years in the Mudfossil. I've been reporting about it for years. This is what they just finally discovered. This was skin. It eroded all of the clay away from the skin. Your skin is made of clay and a ton of these little balls and a ton of these little tiny straps running through your skin. You can pull your skin this way, it comes back because the balls keep them returning. The straps are the rubbery things. That's why your skin can go this way and that way. That was skin. That was skin. Now it's covered with ball. And this is what eroded from it. This is the mud, which is the fleshy part that covers these balls. And that's what lets your skin come back and forth when you're young. When you're old like me, it doesn't come back so good. Because the skin has eroded away. And guess what? These balls are found on Mars. This is Mars, the surface of Mars. These tiny balls, well, not tiny, they're big. This interstitium layer of skin on Mars, the same as Earth, the same creature as Earth was. Of course, Mars is dead now. Has been eroded and buffed away in such a manner as to leave the straps. Normally the straps would be destroyed, but the straps are still here. And this allows you to go this way and that way and this way and that way, and everything will come back. These are the pinched areas, and this is the stretched areas. Same as your skin. It's identical. And they are so intertwined and interwoven, they have a set memory to come back to. The balls determine where they'll come back to. Now, these are a little raised probably, and the erosion on Mars is taking it off. So I'm going to leave it at this. I think I've made my case pretty good. I got more to go. I mean, and I did a pretty good job. That looks pretty good. Nice job, Raj. Well, thank you, Roger. It's time for somebody to address this, that's in the realm, that's asking all these questions. I see every day. I see every day on TV, oh, we can't figure this out. Oh, this is just confusing as heck. I don't know what to say anymore. Now, how do you get through to these people? I've tried to contact them all, literally all of them. When I see them make a statement, boom, I send them an email, or I try to hit their Facebook or whatever I do. I try to make contact, and zero have responded back. Kind of interesting. And I mean, I'm talking probably at least 100 or more. I've done this, at least minimum. So, because this goes about many, many, many years. And the ones that really did engage and just walked away, like Yale and Harvard, Johns Hopkins, and they wouldn't accept it. They just couldn't accept it. Even though there's nothing they could say about it. They just could not allow themselves to speak in that realm. I'm sure it's for fear of their jobs. But truth is truth, and there's absolutely no way to walk back from the things that I have shown are factual. They're factual. Now, either you can ignore them or you can continue. You're going to have to continue to ignore them, because once you address them, you're done. There's no way that you're going to get out of this one, and you're starting to look very, very not well in my eyesight, and I'm sure everybody else is going to have the same vision that I have very soon. I would jump on this and get ahead of it, my friends. Own it. I tried to give it to you. I said, look, take a look, you help me, and it didn't happen. So I don't know how this is going to all play out, but it's not going to be pretty. Although who knows? I don't know. I'm just rolling around with the punches now. I feel like I'm punch drunk. All right, I love you all. God bless you, and find yourself a little God, because I'm telling you, this stuff just didn't have accident. There's no big bang of just nothingness to unguidedness. That, my friends, was the worst thing that was ever taught. Absolute disgrace, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. And anyone that can stay secure in that belief after seeing what I have showed has one of the weakest minds that could possibly ever have been created by God. And I'm sure God won't want it back. All right, I love you all. Thank you. God bless you.